Good evening, Kok Singh. How are you?
Hi, Ajahn.
Do you have anything to say or ask?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, Ajahn. I have a question today, and my question today is regarding working life of a Buddhist in a material or consumer world. What should be considered as the right understanding and right thinking of a lay person regarding stresses at work? Most of the stresses at work come from our bosses. Hence, if our boss praises us, we feel happy. If our boss criticizes us, we will feel sad. So, as a practicing layman, what should be the our right understanding and our right thinking as a working person, as a
Well,
working lay person?
as a working person, you should be ready for your boss to scold you, to get mad at you, because you are the servant. He's the boss. Once you can accept that truth, then you will not have any stress. You will be ready to accept his criticism, accept whatever he wants to throw at you, because you're the underdog. He pays you the salary. So you have to accept this reality. Once you do that, then you won't have that much stress because you won't expect much from him or her. Just try to do your job and also remind yourself that this job is not permanent. Anytime it can be terminated. So if you have this attitude, then you won't have much stress because you prepare yourself for the eventuality. Sooner or later, this job has to be terminated by whatever circumstances, and you just don't. You're not attached to it. You try to find some other alternative, just in case when you might have to be terminated, then you will have something to fall back on, like some saving or maybe some part-time job, something that you can do if you're not working full-time, like being an insurance salesman or something part-time. If you have this, then I don't think you have much stress to worry about. And another thing, you have to learn to live economically, frugally, let's put it that way. Just only spend your money on the essential, like food, shelter, clothing, and medicine, and try to buy the cheapest stuff you can buy on the market, which does the same job as the expensive stuff. The Buddha said you should practice wanting little and sandod is to be happy with what you have and what you get. If you can do this, then you can reduce a lot of stress. See, most stress arises from you spending too much. So when you spend a lot, you have to work and expect a lot of income to maintain your lifestyle, your expensive lifestyle. And then anything happens to your income, you will be uh, badly affected. So try don't go that way. Don't look for happiness from spending money. Better look for happiness from having uh, financial security by having saving, spending not spending as little as possible, and maybe find time to do meditation to find happiness. Try to reduce your happiness by spending money because then Instead of having happiness, you have stress. You have worry and anxiety about whether you will be able to maintain your lifestyle or not. So you have to, look at reality and accept reality, the position you're in. You're working for someone, so the person you work for is your boss. He's your master and you're the servant. You just have to be ready to take whatever he wants to throw at you, praises or blame, raise or cutting down your salary, reducing your salary. He can do anything he wants to you. So if you can understand this reality and accept it, then when things happen, it won't hurt you so much. Okay? Is that enough for you today? Okay. Let me say hello to Soling from London. Hi.
Hello, Ajahn. How are you?
Good to see you again.
And you too. Thank you for having us.
Okay.
We are listening. Thank you very much.
All right. Let me say hello to Kenneth from Switzerland. Hi, Ken. How are you?
Hello, Ajahn. Thank you. Very well.
Teaching today?
No teaching. We have 3 weeks of semester break now for Christmas and New Year.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And everybody has to stay inside. Huh? Are you under some kind of lockdown right now?
Yeah, partially, but we can still go out and go around outside. That's okay.
Okay.
So it's not so strict here at the moment.
Right now in Thailand, we start to have some spreading cases. In one province, I think about 500 people got infected.
Yes, I saw the news. Yeah.
So that province is under lockdown.
Yeah.
So I think I heard they're gonna cancel the New Year celebration. Ask people not to do any New Year celebration.
Yeah, same here. No Christmas celebration, no New Year celebration.
Yeah. Meditation better. Meditation celebration. Safest. Yeah. Best. Do like me. I've been doing this every year. Every Christmas, every New Year.
Yeah, I will not be
close
going
my
anywhere.
eyes, just meditate.
Yeah, it's very good. Good conditions.
Yeah. So I think people hurting themselves because of their own choosing their lifestyle. They prefer to have this type of lifestyle in which they have to go out.
Mm.
And instead of coming inside, you go out. When you go out, then you run into a lot of problems. And when you cannot do what you wanted to do, then you don't know. You become depressed. But if you know how to come inside yourself, come inside your mind, meditate, calm your mind, then you'll find another type of happiness.
Yeah.
So you got anything to say or ask today?
Yeah, I have a question regarding the first vetter, the Sakyatiti. My question is, does this refer to just to the body, or is it the body plus the 4 mental khandhas as well?
The body plus the feeling, which is one of the nama khandhas. And the khandhas, they usually go together, the 4 nama khandhas, feeling, perception, vijnana, consciousness, and sankhara. They usually go in a team together. When consciousness bring you feeling, bring you contact from the body, whatever, through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, or body. Then you got feelings. When you got feeling, then you have desire. You have perception. First, you have perception when you see, hear things. You try to perceive what they are. Once you know what they are, then you get feeling from your perception. Good feeling, bad feeling, neutral feeling. And then you have sankhara, your volition or thought. What should I do with this feeling? If it's good, I want to keep it. If it's bad, I want to get rid of it. So this is how they work. They're like a natural process, tricked by one thing and then move right down the line. First by the objects that the mind receive from the body, and then perception kicks in to find out what type of objects, and then feeling. Once you know what type of objects, good, bad, or neutral, then you got good, bad, or neutral feelings. Then you got sankhara. Once what to do with this feeling. If it's good, keep it or get it. If it's bad, get rid of it. If it's neutral, well, leave it alone. Right? This is basically how we treat our feeling that arise from the five mental objects. What we see, what we hear, and we think that we are controlling them. We think we are the master of the khandhas. But in truth, we are not the master of the khandhas. We cannot always control them. You cannot control what you see, what you hear. Sometimes you see what you don't like to see, you hear what you don't like to hear. And then you get bad feeling. And if you don't know how to react properly, you're creating stress in your mind. Like when you hear about bad news or news you don't like, and you react negatively. And when you cannot change it, it makes you feel bad. So we want to teach the mind that these things, they come and go, they are impermanent, they are anatta, they're like the weather, the snow, the rain, whatever. We should look at them like that and then treat them like that by not reacting, rather by accepting, because we know we cannot do anything about it. So like when you get bad feeling arising from the body, maybe from sickness, we should just accept this is just a natural phenomena. If you try to change it, get rid of it, and if you cannot, then you're creating more bad feelings. But if you try and you know you cannot do it, then you stop and accept it. Then you stop creating the bad feelings. See, your desire to get rid of bad feelings is one of the Four Noble Truths. The second truth, the cravings for good feelings, craving for getting rid of the bad feelings. Then you see the result from your cravings. You're creating more bad feelings, more mental bad feelings. So you see the working of the Four Noble Truths, that your mind react to feelings, either positively or negatively, either attraction or aversion or neutral. And when you react, you're creating stress in your mind. When you cannot get what you want, when you cannot get rid of the bad feelings, or you cannot maintain the good feelings, keep the good feelings. So you have to learn to see that these feelings come and go. They're like the weather. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they are neutral. That's why you learn to sit, meditate, and when you have bad feeling arise, painful feeling, you try to teach your mind to accommodate it, try to live with it, rather than trying to run away from it by getting up, move your body, move the position of your sitting in order to relieve the painful feeling. During this time, you want to train your mind to just leave the feelings alone and teach your mind that it can live with the painful feeling. If it can stop the desire to get rid of the bad feelings. So you need strong concentration on your mantra or something to keep your mind away from desiring to get rid of that bad feelings, that painful feeling. If you could do that, you might stop reacting, stop desiring to get rid of your bad feelings. Then the stress that created by this desire will disappear. Then you'll find that it's not so bad at all, the painful feeling. What's more painful is the stress arising from your desire to get rid of your painful feeling. So then you will eventually learn how to let go of your feelings, not reacting to any type of feelings, just merely knowing instead of reacting. Oh, I have painful feeling, fine. I have good feeling, fine. I have neutral feelings, fine. Just let it be. Let them come and go. Then you have let go of your attachment to the nama khandhas in regard to the feelings. And you study the nature of the body that it's gonna have to die one day. And there's no self in the body. The body is just made up of the four elements. Or in modern terms, it's all chemical, right? In the body. Composition, chemical composition. You have carbon, you have nitrogen, you have oxygen building up the body. So you see it like a chemistry, chemical composition. No self, it's just a chemical composition that come and go. One day it's gonna dissolve. This body just gonna, melt away, just like ice cream. So you have to teach your mind to accept this truth that you are not the body. The mind is not the body. The one who investigates the nature of the body is not the object. It's not the object of investigation. It is the subject. The one who knows is the one who investigates the nature of the body, the nature of feelings. And so the one who knows is not the body and not the feeling. So whatever happens to the body or feeling doesn't happen to the one who knows. So you want to separate the one who knows from the five khandhas. When you can, if you attach and you have desire, then you're creating stress. If you let go and detach, then there's no stress. You just let the body be, let the feelings be. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. Very clear,
All right.
thank you.
Okay. Forest Tom, you are next. How are you? Is there a lot of snow right now? I heard you have snowstorm.
Yes, we've had a snowstorm here, but only a few inches where I am right now.
Okay. How are you? Good?
I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having this call. I just have one question today, which is that I've noticed that sometimes when I'm with other people, I feel very ashamed, even though if I think about it, I don't think I've done anything wrong. So what can I do about this?
It's your self-conscious that makes you feel that you're not good enough for them, so you feel ashamed. even though they might not even know anything about whether you're good or bad or not. It's just your ego. So you have to teach your mind yourself that there's no self, there's no me. Where am I? I'm not the body. The body is not me, and the mind is just creating me. I'm just a figment of the mental imagination. I'm just the one who knows. The mind is the one who knows. So just teach yourself to merely know what you see, what you hear, and try not to react to what you see, what you hear.
Okay.
Be the one who knows rather than be forest tongue. Forest tongue is just a supposition. It's just something created by the mind based on the body. And the body is just a chemical composition. Everybody is the same. We are all chemical composition. Our body are all the same. Although we might look different, but when you break it down, they are made up from chemicals composition: oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, carbon, so forth. So we are all the same. We are not any better or worse than each other regarding the body. Although the appearance might look different. We might look good, and we might not look as so good, but still the same. In the end, we're all gonna end up as a corpse anyway, right? Whether you look good or bad. So what is that to be conscious about? When you understand that what you see, the body, your body, or other people's body are just not you in the first place. Who are you? I am. You are the mind, but you are the mind creating you as a person. But when the mind stops thinking, then this person disappears. When you meditate, when your mind becomes calm, then the self disappears temporarily, because the one who created the self stopped creating it. So you just have to use mindfulness, really, the way to deal with the situation. If you start feeling bad, just recite a mantra, because your mind is creating the bad feeling out of what it perceives in relation to itself. See? If you cannot use wisdom yet, then just use mindfulness. Use the mantra to stop your mind from creating this perception of you being inferior to the other person, for instance. You can use wisdom. You can say, "Oh, we are all the same. We're not better or worse. We are all the same. We are in the same." Like fish in the can, tuna in the. Okay.
John.
Okay. Hello, Belinda from Singapore. Hi. How are you?
Ajahn, good, thank you. How are you, Ajahn?
Good. Thank you.
No question today.
Okay.
Mm.
Let me say hello to Sri and Czech from Vancouver. Good morning to you. Must be about what, 5?
Yeah, hi, good morning.
5:30.
5:30.
Yeah, 5:30.
5:25.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes. How are you? Good.
Yes,
You
we're good.
must be you're working today, so you're not keeping the 8 precepts.
Yes.
Yeah, we try to, like you suggested, we try as many as we can, like do our best, like
Yeah, maybe 7, maybe 6.
yeah,
Yeah.
like eating less and
Yeah.
yeah, not sleeping, not on the, like usually sleeping on the floor. Try not to have entertainment.
Yeah, no physical comfort. Don't seek happiness from physical comfort.
Mm.
Seek happiness from mental comfort.
Mm.
So you have to be mindful, and if you have a spare time, maybe just sit, close your eyes, and meditate, even for 10 or 15 minutes. It will act like a speed bump to stop your mind from overcharging, over speeding.
Speed bump.
Oh, yeah. Slow down. Okay.
You might not have speed bump in your area, but we have lots of speed bump
Oh.
here.
Yeah.
Speed bump to
Yeah,
stop
slow
from
down.
speeding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Slow down.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with that.
So when every time you meditate, you slow down your thoughts. See?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
If you don't, it can get overheated. You become
Oh, I see.
restless, agitated, and frustrated, and so forth.
Mm.
Mm.
So try to take a speed bump, take a break whenever you can.
Speed bump.
Okay.
Take an extended toilet break. Do your physical break and also do your mental break at the same time. No rush. When you're going, making money, what do? When you make money, you spend money anyway. If you don't make money, then you don't have money to spend.
Yeah. But our mind have been used to Ajahn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard to get it out. Eh?
Try to slow down your mind.
Yeah.
Yes,
Try
Ajahn.
to work less, make less money by spending less. You can cut down a lot of expenses if you really look at it. If you think of the essential and then separate the two, essential and non-essential, and bring the non-essential to zero if possible. Then you find that you have lots of money left from your income, from your salary. I think the most portion of your money goes to a non-essential spending. So when you can cut them down, then you find that I don't need that much money anymore. Why should I work so hard for? And the happiness I get from spending money just briefly. Once I spend it, it's gone. And then the stress come back, the stress of having to earning more money so that you can spend it again. So be wise, be sensible. Don't let your craving push you around. You've been driven by your delusion and your cravings. Delusion by thinking that when you buy something, you're getting happiness. But you're actually getting stressed because you might get first happiness, but then stress will follow after you spend the money. Then you find that you don't have enough money to spend, right? The stress will follow. So try not to spend money. Try not to use money as the means of making you happy. Spend money because you have to maintain your body and to look after your body so it doesn't get sick or cause you any problem. But as far as happiness is concerned, you should do meditation instead. Try to learn to meditate, then you'll find that you can replace your money spending money with meditation. You have any question today?
Yes, Ajahn. I have a question. I'm wondering, like, what's the characteristic of one who is on the path to become a sotapan? before becoming a Sotapan, but already on the path? What's their characteristic?
Well, you have to have appana samadhi. You have to have the fourth jhana. Then you can then start to contemplate on the impermanent nature of the five khandhas. Without the appana samadhi, without ubekha, you will not be able to use the wisdom that you have acquired from your contemplation to stop your cravings. Like when you're under painful feelings, you will not be able to remain still if you don't have ubekha. If you have ubekha, you can remain still and not reacting to the bad feelings. When you understand that feelings are like weather, you cannot really control them. So you have to learn to live with them. You can do that with ubekha. Without ubekha, the mind will react right away to feelings, good, bad, attraction, or aversion to good or bad feelings. So you want to stop this attraction and aversion by bringing the mind to neutrality, to ubekha. When the mind has ubekha, it doesn't react with aversion or with attraction. It just remains calm and merely knowing. So before you can get on the supra mundane path, you have to first develop sila, and like the 8 precepts that you are keeping right now, and the meditation I've been recommending you to do in order for you to get to ubekha. Once you have that, then you can then contemplate on the five khandha, the nature of the five khandha, as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. Once you see clearly the nature of the five khandhas as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you will let go of them. Then you will have no dukkha from the five khandhas. Then you become a sotapanna.
So Tanajan, when you have upekha, you keep teaching the mind until it accepts the truth. That's how.
Yeah, that's right. Because by resisting reacting to the truth, you are hurting the mind. You're creating dukkha. You're creating a dukkha in the Four Noble Truths. So you want to stop your second noble truth, which are the cravings, by letting the mind just be merely knowing instead of reacting with cravings or desire. We normally do react, right? When we have good feeling, we react. We want to keep it. We want it. We want it. If we don't have it, we want it. If we have it, we want to keep it. This is reacting to the good feelings. And when you have bad feeling, you want to get rid of it, right? But when you cannot do that, what happens? You get dukkha, you get depression, you get stress. But if you don't react, then you remain the same, just like before you run into bad feelings. You just want to keep normalcy in your mind, that's all. Maintain normalcy. Like right now, your mind is more or less normal. Right now, you don't feel happy or sad, right? You try to keep it like that all the time, see? But you don't, because when you suddenly run into something and creating you bad feeling, then you react right away. Like when Forrest Tom say when he run into people, he reacts right away. I have this sense of insecurity in himself. we react to everything we see, hear, feel, or touch. So we want to teach the mind not to react to them, because they can create stress in your mind.
But we don't have upekkha yet, Ajahn, so we use mindfulness to stop reacting for now.
Right, you generate upekkha right instantly by reciting a mantra.
Okay.
At least you will stop the mind from reacting, because the mind will then be busy reciting the mantra instead of reacting to the objects, to the feelings. So reciting a mantra is a good tool for bringing your mind back into upekkha or normalcy, bringing the mind to being non-reactive, just to be merely perceptive, be merely knowing, but not reacting. Then your mind will become calm and not affected by what you see, hear, feel, or touch. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. You give so many good advice. I can't. Yeah, I know it's still superficial for me, but already really useful in my daily life. Like all the advice that you give. Okay.
All right. Good. Okay. Let me say hello to Eileen from Malaysia. Eileen,
Hi, Ajahn.
how are you? Where are you from? Malaysia?
I'm from Malaysia, yes.
Yes.
Good evening, Ajahn. I just want to listen. No question today.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Let me say hello to Elaine Kusen, Mechi. Where are you, in Thailand or in Malaysia or Singapore? You have to unmute your microphone first. Okay.
I'm from Malaysia.
How long have you been a Mechi?
Since September.
September.
Yeah.
That's a few months. Yeah?
Yes. Yes. I've been learning meditation. Yeah, and practicing like Sankatan and help in the kitchen and also clean the meditation center.
Yes, it's a way of cutting down your ego, yourself. We always think we are superior to other people.
Yeah.
And when people don't agree with that, then you feel bad, right? So it's better to train your mind to think that you're the lowest of the low. And then I think everybody will agree with you because they like to treat you lower anyway, right? Nobody likes to treat people higher. They always like to treat people lower. So when you train your mind to be lower, then you won't be disappointed. Then you won't be sad by how people will treat you. That's the reason why Mechi has to work in the kitchen, you know. But not just Mechi, even monks. Monk has to do our role, really, you know. In front of the lay people treat them like God, you know. But when among monks, we still have our ranks we have to follow. We follow by the seniority, by the date of our ordination. So if a monk ordained before you, then he's your brother, he's your superior. You have to respect him and so forth. So this is the Buddha's way of cutting down our self, our ego. So don't feel bad. You have to do some really lowly type of job, like cleaning the toilet,
and
washing dishes,
sweeping the leaves, sweeping the compound.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the way to make yourself treat yourself like dirt. Treat yourself like It will make you feel. One, if you can do that, you'll feel good because then you don't expect anything from anybody. You don't expect any respect from anybody.
But should we sweep the floor like barefooted, or like how do we maintain our mindfulness, like Bhutto
You can do
while
that, or you
sweeping?
can watch what you do. Keep concentrating on what you do. Don't let your mind think about other things. If it starts to think, then you can use Bhutto to stop it.
Okay. But normally when I meditate, my head will tilt to the, if I'm sitting cross-legged, my head will kind of lower, like
If-
it keeps on moving, and also sometimes it just
That's
doesn't sit
because
still. It doesn't sit still.
you don't have mindfulness. When you sit, you have to have mindfulness. You have to focus on your breath, or you have to use a mantra. You just don't sit there without having anything to do.
Oh,
When you sit, what do you do? When you meditate, what do you do?
when I meditate, what do I do? Know the breathing. Yeah,
Okay.
right. And but then my hands or my neck, or my feet, or will like do the stretching, like maybe yoga pose, or some stretching movements.
It means you cannot keep still yet.
Yeah.
You don't have enough mindfulness to even keep your body
Yeah.
still. How can you make your mind still?
So how should I
Do chanting
continue?
first. Do chanting
Oh.
first. Sit down and chant. You can chant mentally. You don't have to do it verbally. Chanting in your mind. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vichacharana sampanno sukato lokavitu. Chant many repeatedly until you feel you are calm enough to watch your breath and your body is still, not moving.
All right, I'll try. I've before being Mechi, I have been following Ajahn. I've been listening to the YouTube channel. Yeah.
What made you decide to become a Mechi?
Just recently, because I am no longer working since end of August. Then my mom is now undergoing chemo for her breast cancer, and then I just impromptu. It's like the right
Decision.
condition. Yeah, the right condition and the right place. I mean, my home is just 10 to 15 minutes away. Yeah.
And this is a
This
monastery
is my home.
you're living?
Meditation center.
Meditation center in
Yeah.
Malaysia, in Kuala
Yeah.
Lumpur.
Yeah. This the place. This the place.
Okay.
This the Buddha altar behind me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So normally we do chantings and 11 in the morning and 8 p.m. in the evening at night, twice a day.
And how many?
Sometimes,
how
sometimes
many,
my mind will be distracted, and like what are the like worldly things. Sometimes.
Just put to as soon as you realize that you are straying away from the present, straying away from your residence, then you have to bring your mind back to Bhutto, using Bhutto, or chanting. And then your mind will stop thinking about, the outside world.
Okay. I was thinking like if I be a matchy and then I could like do something for my mom, like if she can recover faster or become better. Is that the correct view? Is that a right view?
No, because the body is anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's the right view. You should look at the body as anicca, subjected to aging, sickness, and death.
So I can't make that she's gonna get better or heal.
If you
Like
can,
should I become matchy and she will improve?
if she improves, then she doesn't need the hospital, right? She doesn't need the doctors. She needs you to become a matchy. When you become matchy, she'll get well, right?
So isn't there any hope? Like if I be matchy, then that's what I've been learning, that I have to transfer merits to my mom's enemy, and all beings, including my
Yes,
parents.
but the merit is for the mind, not for the body. See? The merit is for the mind, not for the body.
Merit is for the mind.
Might make your mother feel good. Might make her feel happy to see you becoming a matchy.
Oh,
But cannot change the situation of the body.
like can I share merits like with her, blah blah blah, and all like what I've been taught here. Sharing
Yes,
of
but actually,
Aditana, and what Uditana. Yeah, correct.
well, actually, what you do as a matchy, keeping the precept, is not yet accomplished. See? So your merit is not yet mature to be able for you to share with other people. If you want to share merit that is mature, you do by giving to charity, doing dana.
We do Sankadana over here every day.
Yeah. Then you can share that merit from what you do, from the charity, but not from keeping the precepts of meditation, because you haven't yet.
Nekama parami.
Yeah, but you don't have it yet. That's the problem.
What?
You don't
have it. How come?
It's not real. It's forced. It's not natural. See? You're forcing yourself to have nekama.
A meaning?
Meaning you still have desire to have happiness from watching movie and eating, drinking. See? You don't have nekama, real nekama. You just have the eight precepts, which is more like a mold to make your mind have nekama. You need the eight precepts. The eight precept is not nekama itself.
Oh, nekama. Oh.
Nekama is your action.
Action on.
To refrain from having any sensual pleasure is nekama. But if your mind still have desire for sensual pleasure, then you don't have nekama yet.
Okay.
Keeping the eight precept doesn't mean you have nekama. The eight precept acts like a mold, like a fence that will fence your mind inside from going toward sensual objects. But you still have this desire that keeps driving the mind toward those sensual objects. So you have to meditate until your mind becomes still. That's when you have nekama, temporarily nekama.
Okay. Okay, I thought I'm there, but actually I'm just the beginner.
Yeah, you're still in the kindergarten. You
Yeah.
haven't yet get your degrees, your bachelor, or your master, or your PhD yet.
Yeah, it's
Go
my
a long
first.
way.
But yeah, I've always have this wish to become a matchy. Now I am, and then I was like training and training. I don't know. how my progress.
Do you have a teacher, someone to teach you?
I have a lead monk here, Bante Lim. He is the lead monk over here.
Mhm.
But like he said, Bante told me to keep on doing practice, like keep on do the magic task, like keep on doing.
Yes, you
Do
have to
more,
you
do
have to
more.
do your duty, and then you
Ah.
also have to practice meditation. You have to practice mindfulness, and you
Okay.
and then you will gradually be able to come to what you want to have: accomplishment, enlightenment.
Yeah, enlightenment. Yes.
Okay. You have
Thank
any
you.
okay. Is that all for you today?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me go to the next person. I think it's Alvin Lee. Hi, Alvin. How are you? From Malaysia.
Hi, Ajahn. I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Ajahn, actually, I have a question earlier on, but I think I've already got the answer from your reply to Kenneth. It's about intense pain in my meditation. I've already got the reply. Sadhu.
All right. Good. Well, let me say hello to Kirian Duong. Hi, from London, I believe.
Hello, Ajahn.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
You have to speak louder. Your voice is quite soft. Very hard to hear.
Ajahn,
Okay.
I don't have any question today.
Okay.
Just listening.
All right. Let me say hello to Philip Lim and Adeline.
Good evening, Ajahn. How are you?
Good, thank you. From Malaysia, both of you from Kuala Lumpur.
That's correct. That's correct. I got a question asked by someone to forward it to you. The question is, where all conditions are impermanent, is nirvana permanent? That is one of the questions, and later I'll ask you another question.
See, Nibbana is the unconditioned. See? So it's outside this category of all conditioned, impermanent. So actually, someone even thought that Nibbana is anatta, which is not true either, because it's beyond description. Really, it's not in it's in a category by itself. It's not under the anicca dukkha anatta category.
So that means it is out of this universal of creation and destruction already.
Yes, it's out of samsara. See, all things in samsara are impermanent. Once you get outside of samsara, then you enter into a different realm, entirely different. So you don't have to worry about it. What you need to worry is how to get there. Once you get there, then you'll know. And the way to get there is through anicca dukkha anatta, by seeing all conditions, phenomena as being impermanent, as being a natural process, no self, and cause dukkha if you cling to them. So you have to let go of everything. Your wife, your family, your money, your everything, and go live alone in the forest, like the Buddha. And then once you become enlightened, then you can come back and tell other people that you have become enlightened. You no longer attach to them. You see them, but you don't have the same feeling like before. Before you still worry about them, you still love them, you still have desire for them. But once you become enlightened, you would have no longer have this emotional bond toward them. So do your work, which is meditation, mindfulness meditation, vipassana meditation. Then you teach your mind to eventually let go of everything, because whatever you cling to will eventually cause you dukkha. When you have to separate from them.
The second question I have is regarding to Sotapanna, where he abandons all rites and rituals, right? In regards to the abandonment of all rites and rituals, right? Does that also include a lot of the current Buddhist rituals that we are practicing right now?
Some rituals, if they are on the part of the path, it's okay. Like when you give dana, sometimes you have to recite Sanghadana. I would like to give this gift for the Sangha and so forth. This is not a ritual, it's just a function that you have to do. You have to indicate this gift that you want to give it to who. So if it's deal with the sila, deal with pavana, dealing with dana, then it's not rites and rituals. But it's something like when you like go and consult a fortune teller or Wong Jui, and he teaches you about changing the direction of your door, the entrance to your house, for instance. And this is considered rites and rituals. Or change your name. Your name is not proper for your appearance, And you're not advancing. You are not getting rich because of your name. So you have to change your name, for instance. With the Sotapanna, he knows that everything relies on his karma, nothing else, good or bad karma. If he does good karma, he's okay, he'll be safe. If he does bad karma, he will be under dukkha sooner or later. So he sees the law of karma. He sees the Four Noble Truths, which is the embodiment of the law of karma. He sees dukkha arise from his own cravings. And he sees that dukkha disappear by giving up his craving, by seeing that what he craved for are anicca, dukkha, anatta, by seeing all things as being all conditioned things as being impermanent. Okay.
And I got a final question. Ajahn, you have always mentioned that after meditation, because of our practice and our level, right? We have it is not we can't transfer merit. Basically, we can't transfer merit. Is it okay, and is it a craving that if we make aspirations to ourselves that we want to improve ourselves in our meditation, or to be continue this practice so that we are born in well-off states if we don't achieve nibbana in this lifetime, that our practice would be smooth, going forward. Is that a part of craving? It is wrong to do it?
If the craving that you desire for is good for your mind, it's considered to be good craving. The desire to get to nibbana, the desire to accomplish your meditation, in your meditation, for instance. This is a good desire because they don't hurt the mind. They're not creating dukkha for the mind. But if the desire to be rich, the desire to be famous, this can cause dukkha to the mind because these things that you desire for are impermanent. But with your practice, you can, once you have it, you can maintain it in yourself. So if you decide to give dana, that's good because giving dana will elevate your status of your mind higher. Keeping the precepts and meditation, these are all will keep elevating your mind to a higher state of existence to eventually reach nibbana. Then these are considered good desire. The desire to give money away to charity or to whoever you want to. The desire to stop hurting other beings by maintaining the precepts. The desire to seek seclusion, live alone, so you can meditate. This is a good desire because it will generate happiness for the mind rather than dukkha for the mind. We call this chanta in the 4 Itipada. Chanta, Viriya, Citta, Vimamsa. You have to have chanta, the what you call, the desire to do the practice. Have you heard of the 4 Itipada? Chanta, Viriya, Citta, Vimamsa.
Yes, yes, yes.
What's the translation of chanta into? To enjoy, to like what you do. I think that's what chanta is. But chanta can also be used as a sensual, as a craving when it's connected to kama chanta.
Yes.
Then this becomes a desire for sensual pleasure. So chanta is a desire, good and bad, depends on what it desires for. If you desire for things that are anicca, dukkha, anatta, then it's bad desire. If you desire for things that are not anicca, dukkha, anatta, then it's good desire. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Sinyi and Monica Chen from Malaysia.
Yes, good evening, Tan Ajahn.
Good evening to you.
How are you today?
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
What can I do for you? Any question today?
Tan Ajahn, you have mentioned before in your Dhamma talk that if we go straight into Vipassana, some insights will arise initially, but then later on it will turn into ignorance and it will increase defilements. Can Tan Ajahn please maybe mention what type of insights are likely to arise and how it can turn into ignorance and then increase defilements?
I'm not sure I said that. Did you say that I said this?
Actually, I read in your book, Real Happiness, which was published recently by one Michael. And then it's actually a Q&A.
Okay. And you said that once you have insight, and this insight can turn into delusion?
Yeah, that means if we jump straight into Vipassana without going through Samatha, without Samadhi, we go into Vipassana initially, straight away, without developing Samadhi. So some insights may arise initially, but then later on it will lead into ignorance.
Well, if insight or knowledge that arises from your thinking, and this can turn to be delusional because you haven't yet prove it by practice, whether it works or not. When you see anicca, dukkha, anatta, but you haven't yet applied this in real life, it's just only your thought. Like when you contemplate that the body is anicca, dukkha, anatta, and you say, "Oh yes, I can accept death. I can accept aging. I can accept sickness." But you don't really know yet, right? Whether you really accept it or not, truly, until you get sick. When you're about to die, then you'll find out whether you see it as anicca, dukkha, anatta or not. If you don't react, you remain calm and not disturbed by sickness or death, then yes, that's real insight. But if you're still disturbed by getting sick, getting or dying, then that's not real insight. So your contemplation without proving it is still not real insight. We can say, yes, I accept death, I accept aging, I accept sickness. But how do you accept it? Accept with calm or accept with fear, with agitation, with anxiety? So you have to accept it without having any fear or any anxiety or worry. You accept it calmly. And that's real insight. Because the purpose of insight is to make your mind calm, not make your mind agitated or restless or fearful. But if you have samadhi, you can be pretty sure that you can then keep your mind calm and peaceful when the mind runs into aging, sickness, or death, or anything. You would see that everything that it runs into anicca, dukkha, anatta, it will just stop attaching to it. It will stop having anything to do with it. It will leave those things alone, not trying to manage or control them. Just let them be. Okay.
So that means these are actually obstacles to the path, isn't it?
It's not obstacle. It's just not understanding the proper way of practice.
So that means
sometimes people read books and then they thought they understand. Once they understand, they thought they have become enlightened. But that's still theory, still not real. It's like a boxer who trained boxing with a trainer, but he hasn't yet gone up to the ring to face his real enemy. So he might think that he can beat his enemy because he could beat his trainer, but he doesn't know really whether he could beat his enemy or not when he goes into the ring, the boxing ring. So you somehow have to subject your body to aging, sickness, and death, and then see in real time how you feel. That's why monks sometimes they have to go live in the forest, live in places where there are dangers around them, wild animal, snakes, things that can cause them death, and see how they will react. If you think you're living in normal condition like your home and you think about aging, sickness, and death, you might feel that, oh, I can accept it because the situation hasn't arisen yet. The real situation. It's just imaginary when you think about it.
So the Dhamma always must be calm, and then we are not reactive.
Then you have to see how you might react to the real situation. Okay?
Yes. Thank you, Tan Ajahn.
All right. Let me say hello to Edwin Tan. Hi, Edwin. You're from Singapore or Malaysia?
Ajahn, from Singapore.
Yes. You have any question
Ajahn,
today?
Yes, Ajahn, it's good to see you today, and may your body be healthy and well. It's just to update you. Last week I asked a question about headaches when I practice mindfulness in the day. So as I practice throughout the week, and then this week the headaches have dissipated. Like as I was practicing, and one day as I noticed I was doing my chores, taking care of my kids, I realized there was no more headache, but then came out other shakings in the body. So the defilements are like changing the way they come and disrupt this body and mind. That's what I've noticed. And today I have one question to ask you, which is, when we contemplate the body, the 32 parts of the body, for example, if I'm contemplating on the bones of my body, after feeling them on each part, do I then pose an inquiry such as is the body mine, or such as is the body subjected to aging, sickness and death, or how do we contemplate after seeing these parts of the body, Ajahn?
Oh, seeing body part is to reveal the attractive parts of the body to the mind, so that when the body see an attractive body, then it will think about the unattractive part in order to neutralize the sensual desire or the sexual desire that arises when one see the good looking parts of the body, which is what we tend to do, right? When we go outside, we tend to bring the best part of the body out. And then by when people see the good looking parts of the body, then they get sexual desire, this sexual attraction. If you want to stop this sexual attraction, then you have to think of the unattractive parts of the body that you have developed through your contemplation, such as the skeleton. Everybody has skeleton, right? But how come we see people as being attractive? Because we don't actually see the skeleton, right? That's all. So you want to see the skeleton. That's what you want to do all the time, not just when you contemplate. All the time when you see an attractive body, and then you have sexual attraction toward them, then you need to bring the skeleton out and present it to the mind that you are attracted to a skeleton, nothing else. And when you see that I am attracted to a skeleton, that must be crazy, right? But we don't see that, right? We see a person, we see a good-looking person. We don't see the skeleton in that good-looking person, so we become attracted sexually. And we want to stop the sexual attraction, so we have to keep contemplating the skeleton or the other unattractive parts inside the body until it becomes embedded in the mind. So anytime we need to use it, it should come right away. As soon as you have sexual attraction, these unattractive parts that you have contemplated should come up right away to neutralize this sexual attraction.
Okay, Ajahn, then how do we use the body to contemplate on anicca, dukkha, anatta?
See, the body has many aspects that you have to contemplate. We were talking about the unattractive parts of the body. This is one aspect. Another aspect is anicca. Anicca means changing, not permanent, not lasting. So you look at the body from birth to death. See? That's anicca. Right? And then there's another aspect called anatta, no self in the body. So you look, why is the self? Is the self in the hair of the head, hair of the body, the nail, the teeth, the skin? You go through the 32 parts and ask yourself, which part is the body? Which part is me? You know, there's no me in this body. There's no I in this body. The I is just a concept created by the mind. When it comes connected to the body, then it just claims the body as itself. That's all. Or you can look at it when it dissolves and return to the four elements. When the body dies, what's happened? The four elements that make up the body will separate, right? So this is what you want to contemplate, the different aspects of the body. So that you can see fully that it's anicca, dukkha, anatta, and asubha, not attractive. Once you can see all these four aspects, then you let go of your craving. Then the dukkha that arises from your craving will disappear. Okay.
Thank you very much, Ajahn. That was very helpful.
All right. Hello, Jessica. You're in Thailand now, or where are you?
Hello, Tanajan. I'm actually in my new place, not far away from my old place, but it's a new place.
Bangkok?
I just
in Bangkok? Or?
yes, in Bangkok still. I actually have been busy moving, but as well, the last time we spoke, I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. I was very busy with my meditation as well. I went to Mukdahan. It was a very good experience, and as well, I just came back today from Rayong. I went to a meditation center there. It's also a forest temple, a meditation place, very quiet. There was basically nobody. I actually donated a large portion of my money to build a sleeping home. No, not a sleeping home. Like it's a place for resting for practitioners. So
a roof and something
yes,
to.
Yes, and
We call a platform. We call a platform.
A platform. Yes, it was finished this week, so I went there and I spent the night there as well. I stayed there for 5 days, and I just came back. While I was coming back, I was looking outside the van, and it hit me really hard. I was looking outside of the trees, of all the buildings, not the buildings, just an old building, and I said to myself, you know what, this will be also nothing. Everything is nothing. At the end, I am also nothing. And when I came back and I arrived home, and I thought about the following COVID situation here in Bangkok, and I was thinking there's a lot of suffering right now at the current moment, not just in Thailand in general, in Bangkok, but around the world. And I was just thinking about, how every day we wake up for work, and what happens to those who don't have work anymore. They have to change their habits. Nothing is permanent. We are clinging to our work because it's a comfort zone. We're afraid of changes, and suddenly it's happening to me. I think my work is not doing so well, but at the same time, there is nothing is permanent. And at the same time, if I don't have this job as a nurse, it's okay, because I would like to use the opportunity as well to go into a more intensive meditation in the forest, to be with the wild animals, test my inner self. So I've been using a lot of listening to a lot of Dhamma, but also practicing meditation. You told me, you gave me one very good advice before during one of our talks, that how did you pass through difficult time? You said to me that meditation. you're right. You're right. And it seemed like if it feels heavy, you can get through it. Just meditate. It feels like it washes bad things away. And I understood very well. So thank you, Ajahn.
Good. At least now you know how to deal with this, with bad
Yeah.
situation. If
Yes.
there's nothing else you can do, then you just meditate.
Exactly. And, there's nothing else you can do. So you cannot ignore it. Just the way it is, the way it is. And using also the teaching from all my teachers and also you. And nothing is permanent. And we cling to so much comfort. And I think when there is suffering or there is an obstacle that comes in, it's a good way to learn about ourselves as well. So right now it's a test that I need to get through. So it's a good learning progress.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have no question.
No question, but I would like some homework from you though.
Same old homework, mindfulness.
Oh, mindfulness. Yes, Tanajan.
The Buddha
Thank
said this
you.
is the most important Dhamma in the practice. And supported by your diligent Viriya, Sati, and Viriya. Because
Yes.
you cannot have mindfulness without Viriya, without
Yes.
developing it. So you have
Yes.
to keep developing mindfulness.
Mindfulness and effort. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tanajan.
Okay. Stay calm and stay peaceful and happy. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanajan.
Keep practicing. You're doing okay. You go and do Tudong and meditation.
I'm going into the wild actually. It feels like I'm going too fast, but at the same time, I'm here.
Never too fast. The Buddha said you can accomplish it in 7
Okay.
days. You can do it 7 days, 7 months, or
Satu.
7 years. So it's never
Satu,
too fast.
Tanajan.
It's never too fast to become enlightened. I think it's being too slow to become enlightened. That's the problem.
Satu, Tanajan. Satu. Ha. Thank
We
you.
still cling to our old habit. We still cling to our old happiness. So we cannot reach enlightenment because
Yes,
we
Tanajan.
cannot get rid of our attachment.
Yes. Comfort.
Yeah,
Our comfort.
You have to
Yes.
use mindfulness to lift your mind away from discomfort. Because when you have mindfulness, your mind will be happy and calm. Then you can exist without them. You can live without them.
Yes, Tanajan. Thank
Okay.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Okay. Let me say hello to Pixel 4A. You haven't got a name, so how are you? Where are you from? Go ahead, speak. Yes, we are talking to you. Pixel 4A.
I think he
Oh,
is Dasha.
yeah, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Because I changed the computer. Yeah, thank you, admin too. Philip actually asked my question, but Tanajan, I thank you very much for your teaching. My question is that I live with family and the can you hear me?
Yes, okay, fine.
Okay,
Go ahead.
but I live with family, but I think my wife and child kind of sense that I'm being detached, and I think I know in myself that I'm detached, but I don't want it to show, and I cannot participate in the activities that I used to do because entertainment and all these things have been kind of wiped out from my psyche, and I'm quite happy with that, and so I just I'm trying to find some kind of like a way that the sense that I still care and everything else.
Well, you just have to tell them the truth that you have discovered something better. You have discovered, and they should join you. Rather than
But
trying to.
I do not have your your words to tell them, because when I say something, they kind of outright kind of reject, because it's going, I think,
If they
I
reject,
think
then
it's
it's too
going.
bad. There's nothing you can do about it then. Because they are.
So I stop explaining things.
Yeah.
I just kind of stay calm and listen to them, as you said before, that I pay
Yeah.
attention to what they're doing and be there in a compassionate way,
Yes.
without ignoring them, and be a good person overall, much better than what I was before.
And do your duty, you know, do whatever you have to do to provide them with comfort. But you don't need to participate in the same activity anymore.
So I think that when the time comes to kind of move on, personally, I mean, there is the question of the guilt and feeling kind of abandoning them or something like that, and that is kind of thing, the thought comes to my mind, that like the way you did, like you took support for 1 whole year, you had support so that you can live by yourself and completely practice. And if I were to do that, I kind of immediately sense that even though I have been able to provide for them and they'll be okay, still I kind of feel guilt or something. Is that kind of my own way of looking at things? It has nothing to do with the truth.
Well, because you already gave them the option. They can come with you or they don't have to come with you. So you're not abandoning them, see. You want to take them along, but it's their decision not to come along. So you shouldn't feel any guilty. If you don't invite them and ask them to come along, then you should feel guilty about it. But you have tried to bring them along, but they don't want to come with you. So it means they want to remain in the same old boat, and you get a new boat. So you just have to go separate ways. That's all.
So I'm not being selfish.
No. What happened when you get sick? You go to the hospital. Are you being selfish because you have to leave them at home and you have to live in the hospital? Same way, right now your mind is sick, so you need to go and fix your mind. You have to go to the hospital of the mind, which is in seclusion, in the monastery. So you're not selfish. You're not abandoning anybody, but you have to look after your mind, just like you look after your body. When your body gets sick, you have to go to the hospital, right? So when your mind gets sick, you have to go to the monastery to fix it. Okay.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Where are you from? Malaysia?
No, I'm actually from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Oh, Silver Spring. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize you today.
Oh, because I'm on a different computer. That's why I think that on the cell phone. And
you look a bit different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm feeling cold here. It's Maryland. It's winter time. It has snowed and it's cold, so I'm in the basement and I'm kind of trying to keep warm and listen. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay warm. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next, Lim Kim Heng. How are you? From Malaysia.
Yes, Tan Ajahn. How are you? I'm very fine.
Fine.
Yeah. I have a question. Yeah. Tan Ajahn was mentioning that we should strive to attain at least 4th jhana so that we can pursue our spiritual progress faster. But the thing is, we find that those people who attain jhanas, after they pass away, they will be reborn in one of the Brahma world. So if let's say you haven't attained Sotapanna, that means when you go there, you will remain there for a very long period of time. So if you reborn again and then you come back to the human world, the Dhamma may be not available or the sasana is gone. So don't we think that there's a bit of a contradictory?
That's the cases with the 2 teachers of the Buddha who he studied jhana with. When he became enlightened and he wanted to teach Dhamma, he thought of these 2 teachers first, because they would be the one who will be able to understand and benefit from his teaching. But he found out that they just passed away. So they lost a good opportunity of learning the teaching of the Buddha from the Buddha himself. And when they return as human, maybe Buddhism might not be left in this world. So they would not know anything about the path to enlightenment. So jhana is not the answer. It's a step toward developing wisdom or the Four Noble Truths. Without jhana, you cannot apply the Four Noble Truths. You cannot stop your craving, your desire. You need to have cravings. You have to have a jhana or upekkha when you come face to face with your cravings. And your wisdom tells you that if you follow craving, you're creating dukkha. If you stop craving, you stop dukkha. So you will try to stop cravings. But if you have no upekkha or jhana, you won't have the strength to stop your cravings. That's the purpose of jhana or upekkha, to stop the mind from desiring or craving by listening to the advice of wisdom. That by following your cravings, you are creating dukkha for yourself. If you don't want to have dukkha or suffering, then you have to stop your cravings. So, do you understand this?
Yeah.
Once you have developed the four, you see the Four Noble Truths, and you see the cessation of suffering through the stopping of your craving. You just keep applying it to everything that causes you to have suffering. And you will become enlightened stage by stage until you become fully enlightened. Then you won't have to return and be reborn again. So what I'm saying is you need both, not just jhana alone. Jhana is just part of the tool. You need also anicca, dukkha, anatta. You need also the Four Noble Truths in order for you to stop your cravings completely.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next is Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. You're also from Malaysia, I believe.
Sugiyoto Bante, can you hear me?
Yes.
I have no question. I just listening. Thank you.
You from Singapore or Malaysia?
Kuala Lumpur.
Okay. Right. Next, Kai Fa Lim. Kai Fa Lim. Hi. From Singapore or Malaysia?
Good day to you, Ajahn. Yeah, I'm from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
You have any question today?
Yes, I have questions always on my mind. I'm always curious on question of Noble Eightfold Path. Does the Samadhi or right view come first as the first precedence on top of the other existing path within the Eightfold Path, like the right intention, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and Samadhi? So may need your advice on this.
Yes, you have to have the right view first before you have right thinking and right action and so forth. If you have wrong view, then you have wrong thinking and wrong action. So what is right view here? The right view is to see that what I would say, that your suffering is caused by your cravings. And this craving causes you to take rebirth. And by having rebirth, you have to face aging, sickness, death, and separation. And in order for you to stop this rebirth, stop this suffering, you need to have the Noble Eightfold Path. You need to have sila, samadhi, and panya. So then when you know this, that your thinking will then start to thinking about developing the Eightfold Path first with your body, your right action first. You know that you have to stop hurting other beings, because by hurting them, you're creating karma and dukkha for yourself. So you keep the 5 precepts. Abstaining from killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. And then you for right speech, you stop lying. You don't you speak the truth. And then you have to have right livelihood, the kind of livelihood that doesn't hurt other beings. And then you have to have the right effort to develop mindfulness. You need right mindfulness. The effort, the right effort is the effort to develop mindfulness and samadhi. And once you have samadhi, then you have to develop more samadhi. The first samadhi you have might not be be strong enough to get rid of your craving yet, but it's good enough for you to start building up your noble eightfold path. Then you have to keep contemplating on anicca, dukkha, anatta in regard to everything that you come into contact with.
Yes.
So it's more or less like a loop, you know.
Yes.
You developing one level and then move up to the next level. So you have 4 levels altogether.
Yes.
And you need 4 different type of samadhi for each level.
Yeah.
The first level of sotapanna, you have to see that your attachment to the 5 khandhas as being yourself is causing you dukkha. Then you go to the 2nd and 3rd level, you see that your sexual desire is causing you dukkha. And when you go to the 4th level, then you see that your attachment to your jhana is causing you dukkha. Your attachment to your view of self is causing you dukkha. So you have to get rid of all this by contemplating on anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all for you right now.
That's all from me.
Okay.
Anumodana, Ajahn. Sadhu.
Right. Okay. Next, I think is Take Home. Take Home, where are you from?
Ajahn, I'm from KL, Kuala Lumpur.
Can you speak louder, please?
I'm from Kuala Lumpur. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Ajahn, thank you very much. Ajahn, I'm very new in meditations. So in practicing meditations, there are so many minds. So it is actually which mind tame which mind.
You need mindfulness. You don't worry about which mind. You worry about having mindfulness, being able to control your thoughts, stop your mind from wandering into the past or into the future. Keep the mind in the present by either reciting a mantra or by focusing on your body action. Follow your action, watch your action. Then don't let your mind go think about other things when you're doing something. Just keep focusing, concentrating only on what you do. Then you will have mindfulness. When you have mindfulness, then when you want to bring your mind to samadhi or calm, then you concentrate on an object such as a mantra or your breath when you sit down to meditate. If you have strong mindfulness, you'll prevent the mind from going thinking about other things. And if the mind is fixed on the meditation object, it will then enter into samadhi eventually. And you'll find peace and happiness, a different type of happiness. And the Buddha said is better than all the other happiness that we used to experience before.
But there are many thoughts that come to my mind. And
you have to stop it by using mindfulness. That you don't think. When you thinking about something, like you're thinking about your work, you do chanting or you recite mantra to supplant it, to take over the thought of thinking about working.
To take over.
Yeah, take over. by reciting a mantra or by doing some chanting, because you cannot do two things at the same time, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you have to be diligent in your developing your mindfulness, either using a mantra or chanting, or keep watching what you do when you're doing something. And when you have nothing to do, then you sit down and watch your breath or recite a mantra or chanting first if you find that your mind is still thinking about other things. Okay?
Understood. Understand. Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Get Yenso from Penang, Malaysia. Hi.
Hi, Ajahn, how are you?
Good, thank you. And you?
Yeah, I'm good as well. Yeah.
Anything today? Any question?
Ajahn, I'm asking this question just for my knowledge. Ajahn mentioned that the real ghost is able to communicate, right? So I just wonder, how's the communication? Is it through mind or mind to mind or just verbal communication?
Communication with what? With whom?
Ghost.
Ghost. Well, when you communicate with ghost, you have to use your mind, because the body, the ghost doesn't have a body. So you have to do mental, telekinetic, connect with, you have to have this special type of samadhi called upachara samadhi, in which you will have this psychic power for you to be able to connect with spiritual beings like ghosts. Some people have them, some people don't have. So if you don't have them, you cannot connect it. You cannot connect to ghosts. So don't worry about it. The ghost you see is just your imagination, not the real ghost.
Okay, yeah, just for my info only. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
All right. Nigel from Hong Kong, can you hear me? I think you're moving around some. Okay, not ready yet.
He's moving.
Let me go to Lim Ajit. Hi, Lim. Hello, where are you from?
Hi, Bante. Namo Buddhaya. I'm from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I
Thank you
help
for
you?
yes, Ajahn. Thank you for all your teachings. I do have a question. So, in my daily activities, I always see that the need to project the self is always there. So, for example, if I'm going to the coffee shop to eat, even when I'm walking in, I can see that there's the projecting of the self of how will others see me, and needing to have the acceptance of others. And even when giving speeches or so on, there's always like a need to have a self that people can see, and the self must be a good thing that people are able to accept. So in a way, I'm doing what I'm doing like naturally, I feel, but then at the same time, there's this feeling that it's not so natural because it's just like a screen being projected. So do you have any advice for that, Ajahn?
Well, it's because of your desire. Your desire to be respectable or be liked. It's causing you to worry about your image. So you to try to reduce this desire, and just let people take you as you are, whether they like it or not. If they like it, fine. If they don't like it, that's okay, because you cannot force them anyway. Some people, no matter how hard you try, some people will not like you, and sometimes you don't try and you'll find people liking you. So it's them, it's not you to worry about. It's them that makes the decision to like you or to hate you, not what you are or what you do or what you appear. So don't worry about. Just try to be natural, be yourself, be a good person. If you can stand on being a good person, then you can disregard what other people feel about you. if you know you are good. And one way to measure your goodness is to see whether you have compassion, loving kindness, whether you're keeping the precept or not. See? Once you have this, then you're a good person. And if other people say anything otherwise, that's because they are blind. They don't know how to measure a good person. Because they might measure a person with their status, their money, their wealth, but that's not the true worth of a person. So once you have something to stand on, then you can then ignore what other people think about you.
Thank you, Ajahn. Then that leads me to another question also. That it could be it's also a problem for me where perhaps I think of myself too well. So maybe I think of myself as a good person already, and then it becomes superiority, like the superiority complex, where I try to you can see the mind trying to compare with others quite a lot. Either most of the time it's seeing oneself as superior towards others, but once in a while it's always comparing, and it goes to a point where even in one of my meditation retreats, I saw the mind even comparing like the length of my walking stride with others, like to the extent of comparison. So does Ajahn have any advice for that? I feel like maybe the ego is, or like the ego is too big.
Just be mindful of yourself. Be mindful with whatever you do, and don't worry about what other people do. Don't worry about what other people will think about you. Just look at yourself, inspect yourself, and make sure that you're doing good, you're doing right. That's all you have to worry about. Not what other people think of you, but what you think of yourself. And it's not just by merely thinking, but something solid based on your real action, based on something good like compassion, loving kindness. But sometimes your mind can be up and down. Sometimes you think highly of yourself, and sometimes you think lowly of yourself. So sometimes you have to use an antidote. When you think highly of yourself, the Buddha said you should think of yourself as being a rag. Then it will bring down your ego. And when you think lowly of yourself, then you said, we're all the same. We all have body, and we all will get sick and die. So in this regard, we are all the same. We're not lower than anybody else. So when try to think of something the same when you feel different from other people. Think of the thing that we are all the same. We are in the same boat of aging, sickness, and death. We are all under the law of karma. So sometimes if you cannot think properly, then just stop thinking by reciting a mantra. That's the best way. Just keep reciting, and then then you'll stop thinking, and then you don't have to deal with it. Then because you might not have the right understanding of yourself yet and other people, then you might not be able to evaluate yourself and others properly. So if you cannot, then you just stop thinking, stop evaluating, and just being merely knowing. By stop thinking, by using your mantra to stop your mind from thinking. So that just be merely knowing. Then it can accept anything other people say or do to you. Because there is no self, temporarily stop. Because when you have mindfulness, you stop reacting. So when there's no reaction, there is no self, right? Normally when there's reaction, it means it comes from the self. But when you bring the mind to knowing, not the self, then there's no reacting. So mindfulness is a good tool to deal with any emotional situation the first tool to use, easy to use, but it's not a permanent fix. It's just a temporary fix. To fix it permanently, you have to have wisdom to see that we are not the body and that we are the mind, and each mind are subjected to its own karma. We are different because of our good or bad karma that we have done. But if you cannot see this yet, then just try to stop evaluating yourself, or comparing yourself to other people. Just think that we are what we are, good or bad, right or wrong. This is what we are, and try to accept our position, our status. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
All right.
Thank you.
Next, Nigel from Hong Kong.
Hi, Ajahn. I'm very grateful to have seen you. How are you, Ajahn?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah, I have some problem because I follow your advice that I keep chanting Buddha, Buddha in my mind. But I find that when I continuously practicing Buddha, Buddha in my mind, but it becomes tighter and tighter in the forehead, this area. And like when it's tight, I can't self-talk, I can't think, I can't plan, and I can't associate different things. So so I can't even be mindful sometimes, and cannot chant Buddha, Buddha in my mind. So what can you advise to me? What is your advice to me?
Just be mindful of what you're doing instead.
Okay, be mindful of what I'm doing instead. Okay.
Yeah.
But
if you're eating, just be mindful of your eating. If you're brushing your teeth, you be mindful of brushing your teeth. Just be mindful with whatever you do.
But
if you don't do anything, then just be mindful of your breath.
Mindful of my breath. Okay. But like when I start to feel my whole body, I find that it's very tight. The brain is very tight, still very tight. So I try to practice vipassana as before, but I cannot so I just be mindful of anything I'm doing, right?
Right. Like right now, you're being mindful of what you are saying.
Okay. So and so another thing I want to say that is that like I'm born with good parents, having good school, best subject in Hong Kong, and I'm surrounded with different smart people around me. There are many top students around me, and they have also taught me many tricks, as you have taught me that I have to learn their tricks, right? So so the only thing that I have is the intelligence. So I cannot comprehend their I know their tricks, but I cannot relate them it myself. So but like if in this state in this status, although I want to be I still want to be a doctor in my future, but how can I still achieve it? Like, yeah.
You just have to have the effort to study what you have to study, read the books, and take the exam. If you pass, then you can become a doctor.
Oh, okay, and I'm very worried of not able to be a doctor, but this has been a dream since I was small. So you have taught me much Dhamma before. So can I also give out some knowledge to you as my respect to you?
What do you want to say?
I want to teach some acupuncture to you. So what body parts do you acupuncture are the Chinese some points in Chinese medicine?
You don't have to really. I don't really need it. Thank you, but you know I won't have time to study from you anyway. So I'm busy.
No, just I teach you here a point. Can I?
No, I don't have the time. I have other people waiting.
Okay, then I've also prepared some wait. Sorry, I've also prepared some food and some needles to you. Can you accept it?
Well, I cannot do it physically. I can accept it visually.
Then can you accept it?
Yes, I can accept visually. Yes, I see it and I have accepted it. Thank you very much. And you can do it, but you can do with it whatever you want to do for me. I give it back to you. Okay.
Okay. Then how do I settle this the food and these needles?
You can find. You can give it to whoever need them. Whoever can make use of them.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Okay. Thank you for your kind thoughts and your generosity. Okay. All right. Next is Suji or Sugi. Where are you from? Singapore or Malaysia?
Yes. Namaskara, Ajahn. My name is Suji. I'm from Indonesia.
Okay.
I have 3 questions to ask, but the first question actually I've typed the message sent to you already. So make sure you don't repeat. Make sure that the question is not duplicate, as the admin already inform us that don't repeat the question. So
Okay,
this time,
no problem. Go ahead.
Ask
the question right now.
Okay. So my first question is, when I meditate, and sometimes when meditation goes smoothly and I gain some confidence.
Your connection is bad. Your sound is not coming through. I think something wrong with your transmission because you're frozen.
Oh,
okay. You're back now.
Okay. Internet is unstable.
Go ahead.
Okay. So when I meditate and I gain some energy and confidence, after that because I have this confidence and energy through the meditation practice, and when I meet up with people, I'm obsessed with my determination, what I think, what I want to say, and what I want to do. So I often get clashed with the people due to my the confidence and the energy that I gain from meditation. That's my first question. And the second question.
Let me answer the first question first.
Okay.
So what you want to know is what should you do with this problem?
Yes. Yes.
You have to restrain your enthusiasm. And just use the proper reaction toward people. What you have inside, you have to be able to. If you have mindfulness, you should be able to restrain them.
How to restrain them, Ajahn?
Well, when they want to become active, then you stop them.
Stop that.
Yeah. When you want to say something, stop saying it. When you don't have to say anything.
Okay. And what is actually the definition of mindfulness?
Mindfulness is to be aware of the present. Bring your mind here and now, and not let your mind go with your thoughts.
Bring the mind to the present.
Yeah. To be aware of the present.
Okay. And last question is, throughout my life, I always do a lot of mistakes. Whatever I do and say, because as a lay people, I do business, I do trading, and I do many things in my life. I always do a lot of mistakes, and I don't do it intentionally. And usually, what I say and what I do to the people, usually I lead. It makes people lead to disaster. And sometimes when I say something I don't say intentionally, but usually is throughout my life I always mess up many things. I don't do it intentionally, but this kind of thing is often happen throughout my life.
That's because you don't think thoroughly before you do. Before you do or say something, you should think it over thoroughly of the consequence of what you say or do. See, before you say it or do it, then you can avoid a lot of mistakes. But if you do things out of impulse, then you're not thinking thoroughly. Then it can be bad sometimes. Sometimes it can be good. So you should think over carefully first before you say or do anything. That's why you need mindfulness. Without mindfulness, you cannot control your thought, your speech, and your action. So whatever comes up, you'll let them out right away. Whatever you want to say, you'll say it right away. Whatever you want to do, you'll do it right away. Without thinking properly of the consequences that come up afterwards. So you have to think of the consequences of your action first before you do it. Then you can avoid a lot of mistakes. Okay, is that all the question?
Yes, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Who else haven't yet talk or take home? I think take home. Or you already did talk to me, right?
Yes. I've asked questions just now.
Okay. So I think everybody has asked the question. And we are 2 hours and 3 minutes into the meeting.
Then Ajahn, we have a 8 question from Facebook Live.
Please go ahead.
Okay, Pon.
The first question is from Jane from Melbourne. How we can control our emotions, anger, especially in the workplace?
Mindfulness. Mindfulness is the controller of the mind, really. The first controller, you have 2 controllers. The second is wisdom or insight. So if you don't have any insight, then you use mindfulness. And the way to use mindfulness is either you have to focus your attention on something, so that when you want to bring your mind away from your anger, you can do it. When you're angry at someone, if you have mindfulness, you can bring your mind away from that person or that object that causing you the anger. Without mindfulness, your mind will be stuck with the person or the object that's causing you your anger. So you need to learn how to develop or have mindfulness. The easiest way is to use a mantra. Just keep reciting a mantra. Then you can then stop your mind from doing whatever it is doing at that time when you recite the mantra. Or you can develop mindfulness by keep focusing on your body action. Concentrate on what you do. Don't let your mind go think about other things. Then you will have the ability to stop your mind from doing or getting angry, for instance. When you get angry, then you have mindfulness to stop it. And if you can then, if you have some mindfulness and if you want to learn to use wisdom or insight, then you'll find that your anger is caused by your desire or your craving for things or people, or for people to do something for you. When they don't do things according to what you want, then you get angry at them. So if you don't have any desire or expectation from people or things, then you usually don't get angry with people or things. You only get angry because of your expectation or your desire for them to do something for you. So if you have no expectation, no craving, no desire, then there will be no anger, no disappointment. But this is hard because it takes a lot of effort to teach your mind to have wisdom, to see that everything is not under your control. Everybody, everything is not always under your control. Sometimes they will do what you ask them to do, but sometimes they won't do it. So you should try to treat them like the weather. Always come back to the weather. You cannot control the weather. You cannot tell the weather to go away or to come. You cannot tell the rain to come or go away. So you don't get angry at the rain or the weather because you don't expect anything from the weather. So you should not expect anything from anybody or anything. Then you will not get angry. Okay. Second question.
Second question from Winston. If we reach first jhana, can we still attain nibbana?
Well, you need to go to the fourth jhana. You just keep continuing with your focusing on your breath or your meditation object, and then it will eventually lead you to the fourth jhana. The first jhana, second or third is not yet stable enough for the mind. It doesn't have upekkha yet.
Okay, and the third question also from Winston. In the breathing meditation, sankhara is also considered as body of the mind. When Buddha said, calm the body within the body, is he also saying to calm our mental formations too?
I'm not sure really what he meant, but it's not important. What you want to do is just keep focusing on your breath and stop thinking. Thinking is one form of sankhara. Sankhara is the nama khanda. It's called sankhara, which is thinking. You want to calm this one. As far as the body is already calm. You're sitting still. So there's no need to calm the body. You have to calm the mind, calm the sankhara, calm your thoughts by focusing on your meditation object.
Okay, question number 4 from Lu Fuyin. In the Anapanasati Sutta, the sentence that reads, I shall breathe in, experiencing the whole body. I shall breathe out, experiencing the whole body. Does this mean the whole breath of the body or the physical body? Can Ajahn please advise?
I think the breath, because you're watching your breath, so you want to feel the breath coming in and coming out. That's the whole body of the breath. But don't follow the breath in or out. Just feel it at the tip of your nose. Knowing that the breath has come out and then knowing that the breath has come in. Just knowing like that.
Question number 5 from Ong. Good evening, Thana Ajahn. Can the spirit make a palm print on the surface of the rice or ashes to mark her comeback to visit?
I don't know. I never met any spirit before, so I cannot give you that answer. It doesn't matter anyway, whether it can or not. What it cannot do is make you become enlightened, so you don't have to worry about them. Better look to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. They can make you become enlightened, not the ghost. I think people like to know nonsense stuff. They don't want to know the real stuff. I don't know why. Okay, next.
Next question from Sabrina. Can Thana Ajahn, can you please tell us more about doubt? Does doubt mean you haven't progressed?
When you have doubt, it means you have no knowledge. So you doubt. So you have to learn more and more, study more Dhamma, practice more, and then your doubt will eventually disappear.
The next question from Yao from Malaysia. Recently, I have meditation experience. During Anapanasati meditation, I recite Putto. I find the mind entering into calm. but some thinking arises, and I can hear voices, but no bodily pain or sanya. The quiet mind just note whatever arise or hear, and I continue to recite Putto. After coming out from this situation, I can feel the body is back. Is this the right way to meditate? Can Ajahn please advise?
Yes, I think it's the right way, but you haven't yet got to the point where the mind becomes fully empty yet. So you have to keep reciting the mantra. Don't stop. You are about halfway there. So keep on reciting the mantra. If you use the mantra, if you use your breath, just keep on watching the breath and ignore everything else that appears.
Next question from Shan. May I ask Tan Ajahn why some of Ajahn after passed away, their body cannot decay?
That also I don't know. Maybe they injected with some solution that can preserve the body. We don't know. We don't know what happened to them. Normally, most enlightened teachers they cremate the body to get to the relics. They want to see whether he has the relics or not. So most body that we consider to be enlightened, we want to cremate them. So then we can then look at the bone that is left from cremation. Some of them will turn into relics.
Question number 9 from Seng. Can Tan Ajahn share with us how to practice sampajana in daily life?
Sampajana is continuous mindfulness. So you just have to keep being continuous mindful. That's all. Then you have sampajana. Is that all? Okay. I think we have one person we haven't yet talked to, Kemaraj. Yes, he's turned on his video off. So don't say, okay. Go ahead, say whatever you want to say.
Yes, I have only one question. Just get to knowledge about what is the difference between Sunyata and Arhant.
Again, please.
What is the difference between Sunyata and Arhant?
Arahant, okay.
And Sunyata.
Sunyata is a word meaning emptiness, really.
Okay.
And Arahant is a fully enlightened person who has attained to Nibbana.
Okay. So Arhanta, he's in a Sunyata level stage or a different level?
Well, he will be in Nibbana, which can be considered to be emptiness of suffering, emptiness of the cycle of birth, aging, sickness, and death.
So emptiness has a suffering, or he's also eliminate all defilement?
That too. He had eliminated all the defilement, which makes his mind completely free from the rounds of existence.
Oh, so sir, it is a stage of Arhant. He is also Sunyata level.
Well, Sunyata just means emptiness.
Emptiness.
Yeah. And the mind is empty of suffering. The mind of an Arahant is empty of suffering, has no suffering, have no defilements, have no birth, aging, sickness, or death.
Emptiness don't have any suffering. Am I correct?
No, the mind that is empty of suffering is.
It still have suffering.
Yeah, Sunyata the word itself just means emptiness, really. It doesn't mean anything. Even you're in some place where there's nothing, then you can call that sunyata.
So if somebody is a Sunyata, so he is a desire of sexual, or he's already
eliminated. No, it doesn't refer to the state of mind. It's just a word meaning emptiness.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. I think everybody has spoken. And it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes into the meeting. I'll allow some more questions. If anybody likes to ask, just raise your hand
Sinji.
and unmute your microphone.
Sinji.
Sinji, go ahead.
Tan Ajahn, this is Monica. Can you hear me?
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Okay, during my recent sitting meditation, I recited Buddha. After a while, I felt there was sort of like a very sudden quick fall, and then there was a knowing of like a floating. Then after a while, I could sense the pain on my in my leg, and I started to do contemplation, questioning, is there I in the pain or in the leg? But then later on, I realized that the whole sitting was only about an hour. Was the contemplation too fast?
Well, not too fast, but it's not the right way to contemplate self in feelings. The word self in feeling, I mean, can you control your feeling or not? If you can control, then there's self in that feeling. But if you cannot control feeling, then there's no self in that feeling. Can you control feelings? Can you control the weather? It's like that. See? So once you know that you cannot control your feeling, then you should stop your desire to control the feeling. You should just accept the feeling.
So let's say if now I initially there was no sense of the feeling of any sensation, but then once I started to sense the pain in the leg, does it mean that I should go back to recite Buddha again?
It depends on what you want. If you want mindfulness, you want calm, you go back to reciting the mantra. But if you want to study the nature of painful feeling, then you just look at it and ask yourself, what is it? Is it anicca or anicca dukkha anatta or not? Anicca is changing or not? Before there was no painful feeling, now you have painful feeling. So it's changing, right? Anatta, can you control it? Can you stop it? Can you stop this painful feeling? Can you get rid of it? You cannot, right? So if you want to get rid of it, you get dukkha. So if you don't want to get dukkha, you don't try to get rid of it. Just try to live with it instead.
Okay. So that means will there be some mental, verbal questioning during this meditation?
Yes. It's analyzing, analyzing the object that is causing you problem, which is a painful feeling. To teach your mind that the only way to deal with it is to leave it alone.
So that means just to maybe use a more proper questioning, but it is normal to do the questioning during this time, isn't it?
Once you have painful feeling and you cannot become calm, then you have two options. You want to calm, you can calm your mind by reciting a mantra, but that will only be a temporary fix. If you want to permanently fix your problem, then you have to use contemplation of the nature of feelings to see that feelings keep changing and it's not under anybody's control. If you want to control it and you cannot, then you get dukkha. If you don't want to get dukkha, then you just leave it alone.
So that means if it's just the bodily pain, then I just question on the bodily pain. But if there's feelings, then I'll question on the feelings.
No, when you have bodily pain, you look at your reaction. Are you reacting to this bodily painful feeling or not?
Okay.
If you don't react, then there's nothing you have to do. But if you react and you feel miserable, you want to get rid of it, then you have to somehow teach your mind to leave it alone.
So that means first I look at the bodily pain, it was okay. But then slowly the feelings creep in. So this is the time when I need to question on the feelings.
When you mean your mental feeling, your dukkha.
Yes.
Then you have to find the cause of your dukkha. See? And the cause of your dukkha is your desire to get rid of the painful feeling. And then you ask yourself, can you get rid of it or not? Can you tell it to go away? You cannot. So you then just have to live with it, then accept it. If you can accept it and stop your desire to get rid of it, then your dukkha will disappear. So you are applying the Four Noble Truths. First came the first two noble truths, the suffering when your mind experiencing painful feeling of the body. So it has dukkha because it wants to get rid of it. Then comes the two other noble truths, the third and fourth. If you want to stop this suffering or dukkha, then you need to use wisdom. Wisdom is to see that feeling is anicca, dukkha, anatta. And you cannot do anything about it. It's like the weather. When it rains, you cannot do anything about it. You just have to live with it. That's why we don't get dukkha when we have the rain or the snow, because we learn to live with it, right? So we want to learn to live with painful feeling, because we have been trained to get rid of painful feeling, or to avoid or to run away from painful feelings. And no matter how you try to avoid or run away, it keeps coming back to you. So you have to tell yourself, there's no point running away or avoiding it. Only way is to face it head on and live with it by using ubekha.
Ajahn, I'm sorry, can I just ask a quick question?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so this is regarding the pain that Ajahn just now mentioned. So for example, if let's say when I'm meditating, then the mind is somewhat calm and then the pain arises. So, and I just continue to observe the pain, but if let's say there is no reaction, so I will just continue to observe it until the pain sort of disintegrate, and then I'll continue back to the maybe sometimes some other things might arise, then I'll observe it. Is that all right as well? Because sometimes the meditation, like when it's somewhat calm, then it sort of automatically shows me things. So then I'll just observe it.
Well, if they appear, you should just observe that they arise and cease, they come and go, and try not to do anything with them. Just leave them alone.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
But if you feel that your mind is not yet calm enough, and you think you can go deeper, then you keep come and look at your breath, focus on your breath, or reciting your mantra.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Anybody else? I think somebody said,
Okay,
Melinda. Yeah, okay, you raise your hand. Go ahead.
Ajahn is a question about the hair of a karma. Everybody has a different karma, and we get reborn. It's along the question of purpose of life. Does our purpose of life, because some people are Buddhists, some are not.
The ultimate purpose of Buddhist is not to reborn.
So everybody is the heir of our karma. So if we go outside the Buddhist context, does this mean that our purpose of life ties with karma, the past, our hair of our karma? So in short, everyone has a unique karma that shows in our thumbprint, where nobody has the same thumbprint, and also nobody has the same eyeball, even the Siamese twins. So does it mean that everybody has a different unique purpose of life?
Not purpose, but we all did different types of karma in our past lifetime. And even this lifetime, up till today, now, we have been doing different types of karma, some good, some bad. So this is unique in each individual. So we reap the consequence of our karma differently.
So sometimes when we get reborn, is it correct to interpret that we have unfinished business and some karmas to fine tune?
You haven't stopped the karma that keep generating rebirth. And the karma that keep generating rebirth is the mental karma, or the cravings, the three cravings. You have to stop these three cravings in order to stop rebirth. Okay? All right.
Thank you,
last week I forgot to announce that we're meeting Monday night. Next week also we'll meet on Monday night because tomorrow will be observance day. Tuesday will be observance day. But that will be just the next week. And I think we can then come back to Tuesday meeting again. But next week, 28th of December will be our next meeting. Be Monday. So I think we have reached the end of our meeting, almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. I think that's pretty enough, I think, for now. So thank you very much for your participation. Nice to see you all. I hope you will keep on practicing and advance in your practice. In the meantime, stay safe, stay mindful. And good night and goodbye to all of you. Thank you.
Sadhu.
Thank you.
Sadhu.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Ajahn.
Thanks,
Admin.
Thank you, Admin.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you,
Ajahn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thanajahn.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Kun Amin. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye,
Kun
Amin.
Thao.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.